I overhear transmissions sometimes.
There are things out in the dark that only the dark can overcome.
Long story, and it may look like I don't know what I'm doing, but I do. Maybe not.
You're going to see a lot of things you won't understand. Eyes out, Guardian.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 36 of the Relaxed Guardians podcast. I'm your host, Agnikai, joined by Sebs and our special guest, iiSeeked. How you doing, lads?
What's up?
Don't ask me. I've got Zoom issues. I set it all up before I went for food, and then it just died. It just died in the ass.
Fucking fell apart. So, let's just go straight to the guest. We got iiSeeked. Or do you prefer Seek?
Seek's better.
Seek's better. We got Seek on. The fucking number one Facebook Destiny streamer that I've ever found. Great guy to watch. Tell us everything about yourself, man. How did you find streaming? Why do you do Destiny? Run us down.
Well, streaming randomly. Actually, I just one day just thought, stuff it, let's have a crack, and started streaming actually on Twitch first, direct from the Xbox, and people started watching. But I guess the main thing that really made it start was the same reason why Destiny is the game that I play the most, and that's I just enjoy helping people. So helping people, and really just it was just something that just stuck with me. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't play the game if it wasn't for that part of the game. It really, the content's been lacking, as everyone probably that plays Destiny agrees. Sure. So, finding the motivation to turn on the console and not play something else, or PC or whatever I'm playing on. But it certainly doesn't help. But actually, believe it or not, I've actually found a new, obviously lately with the Grandmasters and the Master VOG come out, it's definitely up to the gameplay a little bit. I've had to grind light. I've done all my solstice, so wow. It's been a good it's been a good thing having the new content to play. So
that's awesome.
See, I feel like it's that moment, in Waynesville, they go, "We're not worthy, like it just feels like as small fries, massive fries. So I've been watching all your stuff. So you have if I'm getting this right, you have a contract with Facebook.
Correct.
So you can you're one of the only, I think I read one of the only 35 content creators that has a contract with Facebook.
In Australia, in New Zealand region, there's a couple more now. I can't remember the exact number, but when we first started, there wasn't. But I'm the only Destiny one. So no one else streams Destiny as a main game. So probably 98% of my content is Destiny, which is, I guess, is a massive risk. It's not as popular as it once was. And, it's definitely not Modern Warfare or Warzone or Fortnite or anything like that. So they don't get the huge views that they do. But being the only one is pretty cool. I mean, there's heaps on Twitch. I'm in a Destiny community for Australia and New Zealand creators, for Destiny specific, and I'm the only I'm the only one from Facebook. Everyone else is from Twitch, so it's very lonely, I guess, at times.
Mate, anytime you want to invite us over, we'll come over, mate. We'll come have a laugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good platform. As I said, for me, it worked. I see pros and cons from both angles. I say this to people all the time when they stream. I guess people reach out to me all the time about streaming, and I mean, I guess for anyone that's watching that is a streamer that's maybe not as big or starting out or lost a bit of the desire to stream, it's stop looking at your bloody numbers. Realistically, just cover them up. Like I hear so many people talk about reach and how many people watch, and I've had people reach out to me before and say, "Oh, I'm not getting any views." Always stream like there's a million people watching you, and so as I said, cover the numbers up and enjoy your content and stream for yourself more so than the viewers, and they'll come eventually. They will. So,
back to that question: how many viewers do you have?
When on the average, not as many as I would like anymore. Surprisingly, COVID was, I guess, pre-COVID. I actually was very blessed as I started before COVID really hit. So I had a bit of a launch into it before COVID, and then COVID just erupted. So yeah, we used to get over 100 every single stream. Now we're sort of floating anywhere from 50 to 70 every stream. It's not as obviously not as many as I'd love. I mean, I'd love to have 500, 600 every stream, but yeah, good things take time.
Yeah.
And I guess repetitive content too. I mean, I'd really raid pretty much every day.
Yeah, I kind of I raid reported you the other day because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna find out how much easier. So I'm trying not to swear just in case you want to use it on Facebook. But I was like, ooh, I'm gonna just check this guy's raid report and see how he's done. But so why the transition from Twitch to Facebook?
Do you really want to know?
Oh, look, and have you ever met Zuckerberg? If you met Zuckerberg,
No.
ah.
I actually got what was the word? Well, I can't remember the name of it. I got banned for like a set amount of time. I actually played PvP, and you know, being my old Call of Duty roots that I have, I got a little bit salty at some people that were not playing the way that I would like. And anyway, long and short, essentially what I said was they were camping pretty hard, pretty bad, and they won. And I said I should find your IP address and I should come camp you.
Oh.
And that was deemed as a violent threat. I was like, what is camping? I was trying to be creative with my threat, and yeah. Anyway, they mass reported me, and I ended up learning a lesson.
Wow.
And I bounced between Mixer and Facebook for a little bit. Mixer was horrible. And I found my home on Facebook, and then when my account finally got but PS the support on Twitch is horrible.
Yeah.
They no one wanted to help. I even tried to become an Amazon Prime user so I could try and backdoor in that way.
Bribe your way back in.
Yeah, no one wanted to help. And so I ended up on Facebook, and it really just sort of took off from there. It was really strange. It happened quick. I can't remember the exact time frame, but I got to affiliate on Twitch in a week. I had all the stats within a week, of streaming, which was crazy. And then it just took off from there. And unfortunately, I lost everything. So pretty much all the viewers, all my followers. I can't remember exactly how many followers I had when I was banned. It wasn't huge, but it was obviously starting to trend in the right way.
Yeah.
And then you're forced to move to Facebook, which was, I mean, at the end of the day, it was probably the best thing because I'm not a saturated content creator. It's pretty unique for the platform, so it probably helped me in a way because not everyone uses Twitch, and I guess not everyone uses Facebook for those reasons.
Yeah. I see you pop up on this as you look at the videos. You get people falling over, and then you pop up. I'm like, oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're always your content. I don't want to say regurgitated because it sounds a bad word, but it's a continuous.
Yeah, the Destiny communities, especially in Australia and New Zealand, hate me because my minions, as they call them, like to share my content. So, and truthfully, and this is something that's really strange, is I very rarely have shared my own content. I just because of that reason, because I don't want to force it down people's throat because the negative outlook, and it has, as I said, the admins have reached out and said, you need to stop this, and I was like, bro, it's not me, man. Ban them from your pages. I can't stop people from sharing my content.
I saw that sort of happening back in when Garden came out, Garden of Salvation, the raid,
Yeah.
and that's sort of when I found you. Was the Facebook page spam, and I was like, I was a solo player at the time, so I thought I'd just watch this. I've always lurked in your streams from time to time, and I'm like, man, I wish I could just do that. If I could just have time, teach raids and stuff, and you were just doing it. You were great at it. You were so calm. You were so patient, and just it was really great to watch.
Yeah, it's one of those. Look, I guess it's a unique. I mean, I wouldn't be the only one, but I definitely think that I was born to do it. I really just,
Fair enough.
It's one of those things. It's like I say, it's like running at a brick wall every day. It's kind of, I get frustrated like the best of people do. But for some reason, the harder it gets, the better I feel about it. I guess it's weird. It's weird. I literally put myself through torture, and I've had some very bad.
Last time
raids.
I saw your stream, it was about 2 weeks ago, I think. Lion, one of your friends, Lion, shouted out to me. He's like, "Go and watch Seek's stream right now because there's a guy in there who would just you would boot him instantly." And it was I don't know who it was, but he was drunk off his head, and you were just like, "Just look, you just go defend that plate, and you can talk to yourself all you want." And you just like controlled the rest of the crew, and he went off and did his own thing, and it was hilarious to watch. You just sort of just over here.
And I've had people, I've had some people that like literally like if you've done Deep Stone on the jumping puzzle died like 150 times trying to get through there. Yeah, I've had,
It's like Agrikai can't jump for shit.
I can't get through that thing to save my life.
But I guess, and that's the thing though. That's why I enjoy it, because if they were in another party, they would get kicked, and then that's the big thing is I welcome anyone and everyone. And that's I guess for me it really started, and back to the original question, as well as the passion came from actually me being in that position.
Okay,
I wanted to raid, no one would help me, and then actually someone actually said, "Hey, yeah, man, I'll reach out." I think it was a post on Facebook, or it might have been via the LFG via Xbox, and you come back, yeah, man, I'll help you, and then it was it's going to cost you $50, and that was for Last Wish, and it really pissed me off.
Yeah, of course.
I can't remember the dude's name because he ended up banning me or blocking me from his thing because I got a comms ban for it. It's pretty much so.
Right.
I pretty well gave him, and it really pissed me off. I hated the game. I actually lost complete faith in the game, and really, I guess it just was like, I bought this game and I can't play the game, and now someone wants to charge me for it, and it really annoyed me. And then when Crown of Sorrow came out was when it first sort of started for me. I got in, I done that, and I really I struggled. It was a hard raid to teach people that boss mechanic. And my clan at the time, my clan at the time wouldn't help me. They got me my first clear,
and then the fucking ground, man. Oh my god.
and then they wouldn't help, so that even pissed me off. So and then I missed Scourge altogether, and then I come back for Garden, and I think we got a clear in the first week of Garden, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then a couple of mates were like, oh, I want to get a clear. So and then it just boom, it just took off. So we just went from there and just went crazy. It was really a fun time to get in and learn. And I love Garden. Garden's such a great raid. Yeah, nice. I feel I know the question's probably coming, which is my favorite raid.
We've got some. I'm going to be honest, man. We've got some wild questions in our Discord.
I reckon if Lion had anything to do with them, there would be some.
Lion didn't start it, but he certainly fed them.
Yeah. They were in the Discord. They were classing you as Chuck Norris, so that because I was like, they were like, "Oh, can you walk on water?" And then it would come back as, "Are you water? When are you water? Like, who is water?" And all this sort of shit. So it just went fairly Chuck Norris for a good 3/4 of the conversation.
You've become a sort of raid deity in the past 3 days as we started announcing that you're going to be on tonight, and it's been a great time.
It's good. It's good time. So as I said, I don't get to do this kind of thing very often, so I done a local podcast here for one of my mates. It was a bit strange when I first became a Facebook partner.
Oh wow!
There we are, then, mate. We book you in every month for from now on. You just come on. You can just chat. I can just sit there drinking gin. That's fine.
Awesome.
So, where are you based? Where's hometown to you?
Dubbo.
Melbourne.
Dubbo. West New South Wales, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Nowhere.
So you kind of fell into streaming. You figured out you were fucking awesome at it. sorry for the swear, but you figured out you were great at it. And then, is this your permanent job now, or obviously you got?
Yeah, so I was a sales manager for JB. I opened a local business.
Wow.
Here and we opened the store here in Dubbo and hired the staff, and I'd done that for 4.5 years, and I was just, to be honest, I was just sick of retail, so I was juggling both, and I was doing anywhere from about 45 to 50 hours a week at work, and then probably again the same, trying to Sherpa people through, probably a little bit less than that, but I was having 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and then getting up at 7:30 to go to work on the regular. Don't get me wrong, I still do that now. What is sleep?
Yeah.
And I just, yeah, my partner was the supporter behind it, and she just said to me, "Look, you're in a good position to sort of do it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not rolling in money. I'm not driving around in freaking an Audi or anything over the top. I've got a Volkswagen though. Jeez, I bought that before I was streaming though. But it's definitely allowed me to sort of, I guess, chase a dream, I guess.
Yeah,
And
wow,
I said to myself, I'm going to give myself 6 months, and if it doesn't work, I can always go and find another job.
Yeah. But it's
And
worked out.
so far, it's been going pretty good.
Yeah. So how long have you been full time proper? on
It's about 3.5 months.
streaming? That's still excellent. Like,
So
you're halfway through and you're still feeling confident. That's great.
Yeah.
So just back to the game now. You say we all know whoever plays this game, we know there's a lull.
Mhm.
We have our rise and our lull and stuff like that. Now they drop in the Witch Queen on the 28th of August or the 24th of August, I think it is. Do you think that influx of players will come back, or do you think this is what we got, or is it up and down, up and down?
It's like any content, yeah. If it's regurgitated the same, people come back for a short period and then they'll just get bored and leave again. I said it actually probably about 2 weeks ago. I'm screaming for something that gives us a bit of depth to the game again. And I want a raid that, not just a raid. I want PvP maps. I want Gambit maps. I want something new. That they've brought out. Like when they brought Gambit out, it was good. You know, Menagerie, they brought that out. That was fun. And truthfully, Menagerie is probably arguably the best content that they brought out for a playability type of content. But I want a raid like Last Wish that's long, mechanically driven, not something that's regurgitated and not something that's the same mechanic that we've had before, something new and fresh. And I wouldn't even be mad if they brought out layers like they did with Leviathan. So they branched off and told told different stories and went off at different angles and tangents and things like that. Like we just need more from a PvE aspect. We do, and from PvP.
What do you think about the regurgitated raid then? So obviously VOG is it's been regurgitated twice, 3 times now. And then there's a conversation that Crota's coming back, possibly.
Please not.
Pardon?
Please no.
Please not.
No?
Well, that's the conversation that's out there.
I don't think Crota deserves to be a raid. Not in our modern era. I think it's just not. It's not a long enough raid. It's not. Look, don't get me wrong. It was fun, but it's not a raid that I want to do 100, 200, 300 times. It's not going to give us longevity. If they bring back King's Fall, maybe Wrath of Machine, different story. I mean, if they bring back King's Fall, I'll probably get a little bit too excited. It's probably one of my favorite raids to do as a mechanic raid.
Yeah.
VOG's my OG. It's the first ever raid I did, so it's got a special place for me. So I'm really loving VOG. It's Deep Stone for me just didn't hit it as much as it was fun for the first week.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I liked it. I actually enjoyed Deep Stone, but I actually really enjoyed Eaters and Crown of Sorrows and Leviathan, Prestige Leviathan, like that. They were my raids.
Eater was too short for me.
Yeah.
If I was going to pick Leviathan-based Spire, I really enjoyed the mechanic of Spire, just to throw in a little orb around and.
Wow, you were one of the only people that enjoyed that raid.
Probably. Weird like
nightmare.
that. Scourge, I really like Scourge.
Yeah,
Scourge was a cool.
Scourge of the Past is absolutely fantastic. What an because the Scourge of the Past had everything, didn't it? It had the mechanics, it had the fact that you had to go and do stuff, it had the speeder race and stuff like that.
Yeah, boss. The Sparrow part was probably the part I was least good at, but let's not go there. The boss mechanic for Crown is probably one of the hardest to teach, just in the fact that you kind of separated from each other, so there's no sort of, you've really got to, like, it was really not a raid you would do more than sort of maybe 1, maybe 2 Sherpas in to guarantee some success. Even though it wasn't a very long raid, at times it was Crown of Sorrow, sorrow.
Yeah.
It'd keep you there though, wouldn't it? Because like you said, Crown of Sorrows is you're obviously separated into 2 teams. There's different mechanics for each part. So it's really hard to turn around. All right, then you need to get that ball. You need to go to the left-hand side. All right, and then you need to give that ball to that person 2-1 and all that sort of stuff. It's just a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, look, and that's where VOG is a little harder to teach than what, say, Garden is. Garden as a boss mechanic, and people say that people disagree with me with this. I can control what happens on Garden. I can fairly well manipulate the situation into an outcome that's more desired for me by the way that I play that. Where in Vault, you kind of can and you kind of can't. You don't get to choose who gets teleported.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a luck of the draw. If they can't shoot oracles, and you know, if they don't get down there quick enough and start shooting oracles, you can't then open the gate. So then you can't get in. Like it's portal. It's one of those.
It's very team reliant. VOG is where certain other ones you can kind of. I find VOG is the end of VOG is not a carry. Like I don't want a class. I don't like calling classes carries and stuff like that. But you can always get with the other ones. You can turn all right. You just sit back there now and you just kill enemies, and that's you. That's all you have to do with the whole raid.
I mean, you just kill them before they don't get teleported.
Oh yes, there you go. Yeah, here's a few res tokens.
Like there is a way, but like obviously that's not an ideal situation, and I don't like to uninvolve people. The only time that would ever happen is if it just got to a point where we weren't getting anywhere. And I have done that on Garden a few times where the person just couldn't comprehend the mechanic, and so instead of but I didn't set them in a corner. I just made them shadow someone and say, look, I just want you to follow this person and watch what they do. And off on your way. And in that way, then they're still learning. The idea is you want them to be learning constantly, so that, I mean, my whole goal of what I do and why I do what I do is I want people to go out and be able to raid on their own. I want them to be able to grab friends and be able to go and have the confidence to run raids on a weekly. And look, to be honest, I think we've probably created that to a degree. Lots of clans and things now run on the regular because we've been able to take them through. And that's the whole objective, I guess. One of my favorite mottos that I say that I like is that you give the man a fish, you eat for a day, you teach the man to fish, you eat for a lifetime. So it's the same mechanic or same concept when it comes to raiding. For me, it's take the guy for a raid and don't teach him anything. He'll raid for today and that's about it, and he'll be the same tomorrow. But if you teach him, then hopefully the end result is they'll raid for a lifetime. Yeah,
that's something we're sort of tackling in our Discord. We have a Discord and then we have a separate clan piece, but a lot of people come in and go, I want to raid, never get time to do it. And we used to only offer raids on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because that's when Sebs and myself were usually available. But we've taken enough people through now where we've sat them down, we've really gone, okay, you need to learn these certain roles so that you can teach them further on. And then so now this week we're sort of offering during the week raids with different leaders, and we're going to see how that goes and see if our lessons have passed on to the next group, and then we can sort of step back, because I'm getting super busy in life. Seb's getting way more busy than I am in life, and it's just a thing of we got to step back and sort of go, we can't do this the way we were anymore.
With kind of somewhat what I'm trying to do too is trying to get people to not so much. I still want the Sherpas. I'd happily take everyone through for their first time, and then. But the thing is then they want to raid with me again and again and again, and it's hard because I try to prioritize my time with people that have zero clears.
Sure.
Just because I want them to have a good experience for their first raid and try to teach them. I mean, my way, I guess I can't say it's the right way because not everyone agrees with my way.
If it clears, it clears. Like we've had some scuffed clears, and we don't care.
I've had an argument this week about that, and what I continuously say is if they got more clears, that means they got more experience. So then you kind of follow to the person who has the most experience.
I guess the way I look at a raid, and it's probably something that makes me a little bit unique in why I can do what I do, is I always try to break it down. So I'm a minimalist. I like to look at it from a minimal fail opportunity. So I don't want to fail, and I don't want anyone to fail. So how do I stop that from happening, and how can I reduce the margin of error? Example, people come into my chat all the time and they say, why are you using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for your call outs? This is so much better. Why are you standing at the portal? It's easier to see the friggin' oracles from back here. And my argument's always the same, is is I'm reducing the risk of us having to go past the 2 phase. I'm trying to guarantee the outcome and trying to reduce that risk of a 1. And it's always that way. Like shooting from the portals is far more efficient.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is far clearer for communication. So when shit does hit the fan, you're not having to clutter chat. There's not too much over talking. It's a nice, clean, crisp communication. I'm a massive fan of numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, because it'd just be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, like a calculator or a number pad on your PC.
Yeah,
that's how we use the call outs, and they never change, and you can adapt. So, and I literally just had this conversation in chat today. It was people said, it's easier to shoot from the back because you can see them. I said it doesn't really matter where you shoot them from because the oracles never move.
Yeah.
So learn the positioning, learn and understand where they are, and then you will always have success. And that's the thing. I think people just don't take the time. Be a student of the raid and actually absorb and learn and learn bits. Every time you raid, you should be learning something new. You should be absorbing something. You should be, I myself, I try to do little things here and there where I'm improving. So as an example, a few weeks back, I figured out that I could actually call my own oracles and shoot them at the same time. Dip out of the portal, have a look at the oracles, come back in and shoot.
Right.
So once again, if the shit hits the fan and I have to, I can reduce that risk by being able to do it. Yeah. Wow. It's actually not that hard.
I'm just.
Oh yeah, mate. Yeah, no, it's not that hard, mate. Yeah, I understand that.
The moment where you click to make that decision and just go, this is how I'm going to save that raid.
Well, we look at it like this, right? So your call out happens before you have to shoot. So you go out, read the call out, go back in, shoot.
I suppose it is enough because it runs through 2 sequences, doesn't it? So you can.
Yep. Yeah, and it's literally, see, I look at a raid that way, where I think about a raid very differently. When I'm looking at a raid, I'm looking at opportunities to take not necessarily shortcuts, but how can I, as I said, reduce that error, that margin for error, and that's, I guess, why I can have the patience that I do is because I know that the outcome will eventually happen. Like I've never failed at taking someone through. The only time that I've ever failed is people have run out of time.
Okay.
Is your back fucked carrying like people like Devil and Lion and all that sort of shit? Just get them to sit in the fucking corner, just shooting stuff.
Just last Lion about his bubble.
I got this, guys. Mic drop. I'm just gonna sort this shit out.
He came in pretending to be a Sherpa one time and dropped probably the most fucked bubble I've ever seen in my life. No.
I'm gonna get
we were on Sanctified Mind, and he put the bubble directly in front of it, so we couldn't fucking shoot it.
We've had that with Nova bombs, the Slover bomb, when you add that and it flies down the tunnel, and then you just can't obviously hit it.
We've actually take. I've taken the Nova bomb license off a few of our guys because sorry, mate, you're not allowed to use this anymore. You have to go back to basics. You're only allowed to use this super from now on. Because it was like one of the guys just shot it. I don't know how he shot a slow Nova across, but it just went over Tanix's head and just kept on going. I'm like, where the fuck is that going?
There's been some great ones. Yeah. So have you ever, being such a prolific Sherpa, you must have had times where someone's come into your raids and gone, let me take over the leadership role. Like, how do you sort of handle that?
Yeah. It happens from time to time.
Sure.
I guess it happens more often than not. And I don't think it's deliberate a lot of the time. It's just people, I guess, probably get a little excited, and I usually just let them have a little bit of leeway, and then I kind of just politely just overtalk them and be like, you just over there, buddy. But yeah, I mean, from time to time, I've had people come in and you do get those moments, and I just don't raid with them again. I try to be diplomatic about it, and it's not disagreeing with them or anything like that. And that's where I guess my team's really good, is the fact that they just sort of come in and they just go about their business and they offer their input, but they're there to do the exact same thing as I am. So they're there to talk and learn and help people just as much as what I am. So
right.
So if anybody wants to find you, let's get this out of the way first. If anybody wants to find you, where would they find you? So give yourself a shout out. fb.gg/iiSeeked is the easiest. That's where the stream is at. And it's pretty much iiSeeked on every platform.
except for Twitter. Obviously, Twitter's got the _II_seeker because a dude's actually got iiSeeked, believe it or not. And he has not used his Twitter account in about 5 years. And for the life of me, I cannot steal it.
Yeah,
I've tried. I'm trying.
I've heard that story 100 times.
And then I've also in PSN, I can't get PSN iiSeeked, and no one actually has it for some reason. They won't let me have it.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Nah.
So you're on every platform. So you're on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
No Stadia though. Yeah. What
Don't-
even is
Stay away from
Stadia?
Don't bother
I
with
know. I
Stadia,
actually
that's gone.
legitimately had a dude in chat one day say that he's playing on Stadia, and I'm like, bro, I can't help you, man.
That's incredible. There's like 20 players there.
Yeah. Would we even get a rating?
Yeah.
I think about it. Like if you want to play trials, you'll win at trials.
Yeah, that's actually
Even
a
though
thing.
you won't
PC
probably
players,
find a lobby.
PC players will switch over to Trials and Stadia because you can't hack on there. It's a different format.
People use their network manipulation to
True.
find ghost lobbies, right? You wouldn't have to do it on Stadia.
You wouldn't have to do it on Stadia.
Nobody fucking there. So
Just join the Australian Xbox lobbies, mate. You'll play the same people repetitively over and over.
It's no better on PSN, man.
so what's your favorite platform?
I
PSN.
truthfully, and everyone's going to tell me that I'll say Xbox, but I actually truthfully don't have one.
Okay.
I prefer the Xbox controller over the PlayStation controller.
Mm-hmm.
But now that all the consoles have been updated, it's much the muchness.
Yeah.
But Xbox is my main, and that's mainly because I got more people there. But if I had to choose, when crossplay comes, I'm moving to PC full time. So
There we are. Fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah.
and that's solely because frame rate. Like when it comes to doing things, people actually were talking about it today in chat as well with Glad. Glad's an absolute monster, and they're like, oh, he's no different than us. I was like, well, yeah, he's playing on PC for starters, and we're playing on console. But yeah, there's definitely a massive skill involved in what they do. Like the amount of clicks and stuff. Like when you watch those guys play, they're a machine. Like you look at Esoteric, he was the first week he's freaking gone and done. Like we spent 3-4 hours in the first freaking room of Master Vogue.
Yeah.
And he went and soloed it.
He soloed it. Oh my god. We
I was like, man, I want to disconnect and never play Destiny again.
we attempted
Way
our
to make it
first
go.
Master Vlog that night, the night before he released that video, and we spent 2 hours getting in the fucking door. And then we're like, I guarantee someone's going to release a solo video tomorrow after we failed this. And then sure enough, there it is in our damn chat the next day. Oh,
We just couldn't get it. We just couldn't get it. Deaths was the main thing. Once you lose control, it was just hard to sort of now it's pretty simple now. Like now we understand. Like it wasn't like the mechanic was hard. It was just how do we clear it efficiently and effectively.
sure.
It's good though. I really, as much as it pisses me off how hard it is, and not the thing that pisses me off the most is people are going to take advantage of people that aren't good at the game, and start charging them more and more and more and more money. And that's the part of that really pisses me off. And then the part of it that pisses me off even more is most of the time they're just going to take them through a checkpoint.
Oh, right. Okay.
And people are going to be happy because they're going to get their Sherpa, they're going to get their time loss weapon, and it's just like frustrating. But don't pay for shit.
Well, that's what we've done this shout out before, and we've had actually people come in and go, well, why are you saying that for? Because I charge people to take them through trials, take them through bloody Sherpas and stuff like that. But there was one going around, there was $200 to get Divinity.
Yeah.
What?
Like, come the fuck on.
I could have been full-time years ago if I was charging that.
Exactly.
Right. Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
Look, I get it. Like it's all time. It is time, and I do get that. Like, and I guess I can sit there and say it where I'm sitting and say I'll never charge anyone to help them with anything. I've said that. If I ever done I don't like doing recaps for seals and things like that. And then I really don't like to think about the concept of charging anyone. But it just got to a point where people were asking me, and I don't like saying no to people. So the easiest way for me to say kind of no was I said, oh yeah, I might have to start charging for it, but I'm not offering it. So that way, then I don't have to charge someone.
Yeah.
I don't play the game for myself enough. I guess. Like I don't get to like this last week. I've done barely any Sherpas. I've just been grinding out Solstice and grinding out my light level so I could get the Master Vog done. And being able to do that, it was good. It was something different. It was actually quite. It was boring as batshit. I don't know how. I don't know if you guys, if you've watched the stream, Gypsy's, she's fucking ridiculous light level. She's 1134 on the season rank or something.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
but like that's her thing, right? She sits there and she does her bounties every day, like methodically. And she said, "This is what I do. I've got it down to a fine art." And she literally does it. She goes in and she just grinds out the bounties, and each to their own. I personally, I've done it for a week, and no way, Jose. I couldn't do it, but like it's definitely. It would definitely help for her when we went and tried Vob for the first time. She was out there. This isn't hard. I'm 1366. You guys better get good.
Running up and punching Cyclopses while everyone else is hiding.
1366. Grandmasters wouldn't be fucking hard for either. She's just like walking around with a bloody white pistol.
She still gets skilled like the rest of us. She can and look, to be honest, doing the Master Vog, when I 1341 was when I noticed the difference. Anything under that, you kind of can get pretty well hit by anything and you die instantaneously. When you get to that 1341, you kind of start to be able to tank a little bit. So I found that was a lot easier. So and I mean, when we were doing it on our second attempt, I've deliberately put myself with Gyps and we could hold it down pretty good, being our light levels and stuff. So I knew once we could get everyone to light, we probably went a little bit under light. Our first crack at it, because everyone was just dying. Like I think I went in with True Vanguard for our first attempt, which was I think we done it on PlayStation. And
does that name drop real quick?
Mate, you're not allowed to drop that fucking guy's name in you. Like, Christ, you'll have people creaming in the bloody chat.
Oh my goodness!
And well, mate, I think we died 700 times in the first room.
Wow!
Between us all,
I took that by myself.
It was brutal. I don't think I've ever died that much in Destiny.
So what do you think about the grind now? So we've gone from the 50 points or the 60 points last season to the 10 points now. Do you think that's the way forward?
10 points. What do you mean?
So the light power level. So we got to 1310 last season, and then we just said you only have to get up to 1320 this season.
No, I prefer the grind. I prefer the Ligo. I mean, if I look back at what I enjoy, and this is the strange thing, what I enjoyed most about D1 was the grind. But the grind, I guess, when you look at D1 versus D2, the grind, I felt like I was achieving something. Like you guys play D1, you know exactly what I'm talking about, man. You got an exotic in D1, you were fucking excited.
Yeah.
You were happy, right? It was exotic.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever got excited about getting an exotic in D2 at all.
Well, we started off in a weird spot with exotics in D2 because it's like, here's this quest to just go and get Mida. Whereas, remember just trying to get Mida just from a Crucible drop at the end of the game, or like Galahorn dropping at the end of freaking Vogue.
I think that's the thing that really, I guess you look at it in life though, like as a parent, life now is teaching the kids, you get a participation medal now because no one loses and no one wins. And I feel as though that's the way the game's gone a little. They keep trying to change the goalpost because, little Tommy down the road's whinging about it because he hasn't got his drop yet.
Yeah.
And I guess any OG Destiny player likes that. As much as it would shoot me to tears that I've been very, very blessed. I've got all my rolls and got all my drops pretty quick.
Yeah.
Kingy, one of the guys that's kind of local to me that helps out from time to time, and he's one of my mods as well. It was one of my mods, I should say. He's 100 and something clears of Scourge before he got Anarchy. Like, just
wow.
That reminds me of D1. You know what I mean? Grinding out grinding out a strike to get the drop of the weapon that you want. Like, being able to. I sat there and spent so many materials trying to get god rolls on weapons when you could re-roll your weapons and things like that. Like, I miss those days. Yeah, and I really feel that the grind is kind of pointless in D2. There's not really an end game other than to gain light. So the answer to the question is the 10 light versus the 50 light. It's the same bullshit at the end of the day. It's just less.
So what would you like to see sort of to achieve out of that? Like, what would you like the grind to work towards instead?
Like more random, like we use Fate Bringer. Like everyone wanted Fate Bringer from D1, right? Bet you didn't get it in the first freaking raid.
I'll tell you a different story. I got every single weapon from Vault of Glass, and I ran that raid so much, I didn't get a single piece of armor once. And so I was forever 28 and a half. I was one of those people. Didn't get shit. Every weapon, every fucking run.
Yeah. But I've got friends that played D1 from launch, right? And still never got a Galahorn.
Wow.
I had to buy it.
They missed it.
Yeah.
The one weekend Zer sold it, they were away, and he like pulled like Devo about it. Okay, and then I went and got 4 in one week.
Yeah, I got I think my Galahorn drop fucked me for raids because I got it week 1, the day before Zer sold it. So I was like, I got this amazing gun. And then Zer obviously sold it and then never sold it again. And then I just got fucked for loot after that.
Yeah. Oh, look, but you look. That's the kind of that's what I miss most about D1 is there's that, and I feel like you look at something like, look at Mountaintop. Yeah, Get Mountaintop as an example. It was a bitch to get, and anyone that got it legitimately kind of felt cheated when they went and halved it and said, "Oh, we want to give it to everybody."
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. We're giving people the participation medal. And look, I think the game should be for everybody. But you look at trials, right? It's a pinnacle activity, right? Not everyone's good at PvP. And I get that. And then that's fine. Like I'm personally a mediocre PvP player. I've had flawless runs, but I ain't about to carry a 2 stack through trials. You know what I mean? Like and I'll get shat on, 6 times out of 7. But I still enjoy playing it. And I still have fun playing it, but I guess that people we just want more all the time, and people want to achieve it. But instead of going and getting and making yourself better, or trying to get a team together and just sticking at it, and just and maybe not getting there, but getting better.
Yeah,
we need a participation medal. We need them to make it easier for us to achieve it. And don't get me wrong, I think trials is probably a unique thing where I think they could probably improve. The early on matchmaking, we shouldn't be matchmaking against freaking people that are on, their 2000th flawless run. And, here's us sitting on none.
Yeah.
But I don't think it should be a walk in the park either. Just like I don't think VOG, Master VOG should be a walk in the park. I think it should stay where it's at. Like people are saying, oh, they need to probably lower it a little bit.
I'm completely with you there. I like I said, it kicked us in the teeth like so hard on our first run. But at the same time, we're going to run it again on this weekend, and not because it's like we've got to get a time loss weapon or whatever. It's like we just want the challenge. Like Grandmasters are great, but I really enjoyed that really, really hard raid again. Like we get that with day 1 for 1 day, and then it's gone again, and then you go into the same raid and it's piss easy.
Do you want me to tell you what pisses me off about Master VOG? It's pointless.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. At least with Pinnacles, at least with the other fucking eaters and stuff. At least you could get like cool looking armor when you went to the whatever that bloody was. I forgot the fucking.
You get
word,
the exact same shit you get from doing a normal run, and you have to work 5 times harder. And then so people are just doing the challenge checkpoint to get the time loss weapon, and then once you've got them all, then you just have to do a boss checkpoint, and then you can just buy it from spawns. And then once you've got it all, guess what? You don't have to run it ever again.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's no sense to it, is there? There's no sense to it. I'd rather the prestige run. At least you get you could have cool armor, because obviously GMs, the adept weapon is a different color to the normal GM, the normal just normal Nightfall. It's just something like that. Like different fucking color armor, a different shade or a different shader that goes on it. So
it should have been a time loss weapon for every encounter. And it was you instead of having to do the challenge, you would have to do the encounter, and then you could get just a normal one, or you could get the chance, and it might be 10% chance, could be 15% chance to get a time loss weapon. You probably need to be a little bit higher than that, but you do a Grandmaster, you're not guaranteed to get adept weapons. And I feel as though they kind of missed the boat a little bit. And look, people are going to disagree. People are going to be like, no, if I can leave it the way it is, we want to farm it, we don't want to have to do it. But I just feel as though they're not giving us anything to work towards. And it's kind of let's be honest. I mean, the raid itself, the challenges are not hard anyway. I think probably next week's going to be the hardest one, which is the one where you got to let the wyvern sacrifice to the conflux.
Yeah.
True.
Have you been in that encounter yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I've never. It's a fucking nightmare because those things got legs. Those things will jump at you.
Whoever from Bungie came up with wyverns fucking hates us.
Yeah. I think he's being put on the same desk as the guy who made Telesto.
Yeah.
Right, nobody fucking likes you. You get over there. You're in the fucking corner. Your fucking gun wrecks this game every fucking time.
They don't get blinded. You can't freeze the fuckers.
Yeah.
They just. Oh man!
If you don't shoot the middle, everything else is immune. You're like, what the fuck?
It's the bloody wings, and then there's wings. They turn those wings to guard their enemies. They're like taking goblins from Destiny 1 that used to just immune everything, and they used to like chain immune to each other. Oh, annoyed me to tears.
Yeah.
So you turned around and said you don't get anything. So what do you reckon the RNG? Me and Ags have had full blown arguments about this shit.
Yeah.
RNG, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about RNG because we'll just get it at another stage. Ags thinks it should be a complete change up.
Okay, I should explain that more. I don't think that your level should be tied to RNG. I'm okay with RNG being in the game for drops, like you were saying with exotics and whatnot. I just don't think
basically Agnikai wants a participation medal. He just wants to get everything.
The artifact power that you get from gaining experience and bounties should be your level. And that gets capped out. But then your gear, the stats on your gear, and all of that should be RNG. That would still be the same grind. It's just not power level.
So explain exactly what you mean again. Sorry, we've got a base at the moment, so 1320. And then the artifact obviously bumps us up.
Yeah, so remove the 1320. Make the artifact leveling the way we level up. And then the RNG would be the armor stats and everything else there.
Yep.
That's how I see it, because I get annoyed when I run a raid, and I've had plenty of people raid with me where they go, I got Vision and Confluence this entire run, and so I didn't get any levels from any of the pinnacles or anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just don't like that. I feel like I get nowhere if I get one drop in one slot.
I had this. I literally just had this happen the other day with my hunter. It's like it was the only thing, which is my character that I've had to spend the most time on.
Yeah.
And I just have, this just hasn't got a lot of love lately because the Titan's just been so OP. For me, I just needed a helmet, man, and everything was just dropping at 1390.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fucked.
Yeah.
Even the solstice gear, I got a fully masterworked. I was like, you beauty, I'm gonna get a 1390 in the whole lot.
Really? There you go.
Every piece of it. I'm just like,
so do you think it's time for a change in that aspect?
Look, change is as good as a holiday. I think anything is a good thing. I don't think they need to reinvent the wheel.
No.
I think well, if you look at D1 to D2 from when it first released, into now, we were definitely in a much better position. I think because I took 6 months off, I just hated it. There was no randomized roles on anything.
Yeah.
It was, you get a god roll, everyone gets a god roll.
Yeah.
And I feel, and Forsaken was what brought me back. I came back for Forsaken. That's when they made a lot of the changes.
Yeah.
That content was that's probably the best content they've brought out in D2. It's probably where they started taking a step in the right direction, and then they've kind of come back again and taken steps in the wrong direction. I think. And I defend them all the time, and I say COVID probably hasn't helped their case, but everyone else has kind of been able to evolve around COVID and sort of just deal with it and be able to do it. So I can't keep using that excuse. Yeah. Like if they don't bring out a new raid and really change the landscape for Witch Queen, then I'll be honest, I'm probably done. Okay, so it's really to a point where we're just playing a game that's gonna get us nowhere.
Yeah.
Like they're not giving us anything for. I guess we're not really paying for the game anymore. They give it away free most of the time.
Yeah.
You pay for your DLCs and stuff, and you can play it for free.
Yeah.
And that's the annoying part of it. But I'd rather pay $200 and get more content. Plain and simple. Content is going to be the king to bringing people back to the game and giving people back to the grind question. And this is something that we've discussed again, is I feel as though I'm forced to play shit that I don't want to play.
That's my problem with it as well. Is
Yeah.
you are forced into doing pinnacle activities that you don't want to do. Like I don't want to do strikes anymore. I'm very over strikes. You know, we've had the same ones, like you said, forever.
But go back to D1. How many times did you run Omnigul?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. I wanted that.
Why did you run it?
I wanted that damn pulse rifle. I wanted it. I wanted that gun.
Grasp of Malik was the bomb.
Yeah, I wanted those. I'm a hunter. I wanted that cape from the Scion flares. Like there was interesting stuff at the end of things that I wanted.
Yeah.
That was RNG still, which is fine.
And hard to
Totally for
get.
that.
Not a guaranteed drop.
Exactly.
You still had the randomized rolls.
Exactly. All of that.
Yeah.
And I just don't like the power level system. Is my problem. And like, yes, right now we can get around it with artifact and like whatever, and still get into the end game content, which is great. But I just like, if we're already doing it, why is it still in the game? Is sort of my question. But that's a
Look,
question.
I think
for Bungie.
the artifacts are cool. A cool thing that they brought in. I like the idea of having, you know, like, hey, breaching clear.
Yeah.
You know, oppressive darkness.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and people, and there's another question. You know, is they going to nerf anarchy? Oh, I'm for it. You know, and the reason I'm for it, and I use the thing every day. Yeah, but I'm for it from the fact that, and this is another reason why I supported sunsetting is. Yes, yep, yeah, and I support it, and I'm kind of pissed that they went back on it because once again, the community got upset and they went back on their goal of their dream of what they wanted to do for the game.
Yeah,
and the reason I liked it is because you know what, I ran a mountaintop and a recluse and a black talon every single freaking raid, and I'll switch it out of there. Like it literally was my go-to of what I ran every single time, and you know, being forced to change and adapt was good for me. It actually made me probably a better player. I started using things like Warmind builds and charges with light builds that I'd never used before because I was forced to try and manipulate the game to benefit me. And I feel as though by them doing away with sunsetting, it's kind of just put us back into the use this and this is the best. And you know, we're gonna artificially remove weapons that we don't want you to use anymore, like an anarchy. Yeah, you know, but I'm looking forward to a new meta next season. I think it's going to be a good thing. But look, let's face it, they're going to give us something else that's broken. They always do.
Yeah. And
well, they've upped Sleeper Simulant now, haven't they? So it's just going to slowly take over. But
it's still shit.
Yeah, well.
We were doing some mad damage with it, but I mean, there's easier ways. There's easier ways to get the damage that we're doing. We're doing
but like,
tests.
You are right, though. You are right because the meta stays stagnant. Once you once they took away they fucked up, didn't they? Because they had sunset and then they just took everything. They're like, get rid of it all instead of just, all right, we're going to take these 10 away, but you're going to still keep the other 30. That's fine, and we're going to introduce these. But they just want to go, fuck it, we can just take them all away. And then they even took all of the Forsaken weapons away.
The weapon pool was too big.
Yeah,
it's too big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I believe it or not, I'm looking for it, and I've probably had 50 of them. And if I've only really recently started using them because they're so reliable for taking down overloads, and that's an explosive payload surface roller. And I can't get one for the life of me because there's too many weapons in the loot pool.
Yeah.
Well, this is what they were kind of trying to get rid of as well. But we didn't get, I think people got confused with, we lost all these weapons and we didn't get an injection enough of more interesting weapons. So we lost Mountaintop and Recluse, and we didn't get anything back that we felt like made us as powerful as that. But here we are 7 months later, and now we're just like overrun with weapons and we don't know what to use, or it's just like, you're
going back to the original.
You're going back to everything that we had back in Beyond Light. Like, what's everyone using right now for weapons?
I'm using Icolos. Icolos SMG.
Icolos SMG. Anarchy 9 times out of 10. If you're running Deepstone Crypt, you're running a sword every single damn time. Like
the whole raid.
The whole raid. All our Titanics, and then it's like Divinity at the end. But nothing has changed. Everything just became stuck in the mud. Everything got hit by stasis. Unintended. But it's like, how do we need to get out of this rut again, but every time we change the game, the community gets annoyed, like you said. And well, maybe not even the whole community, maybe just bigger names than us get annoyed because they feel like they've grinded for this thing that they've earned, but now they're losing it and they don't want to have to regrind the game. It's like, well, then you're not playing the game anymore.
No, they just want to regurgitate the same thing over and over and over, and they want it to be easy. And you know, as I said, and I'm glad you said Ecolos is mate, it's my favorite gun probably that I use on the daily. It's just, I mean, war mines. I mean, they are so overpowered, and if you utilize them to your advantage. And look, I'm not an expert at war mine builds. I see Reezy's in the chat. He's probably an expert at war mines more than me, but I probably wouldn't have experienced war mines to the degree that what I do without them sunsetting Recluse. And to be honest, I feel as though that Icarus is a better weapon. All right.
Yeah.
It offers such a diverse way to play with war mines than what Recluse did. Recluse is fantastic, but it's definitely not Icarus. That ability to create a war mine cell and then clear a whole room of ads in the space of just one shotgun shell or something like that. It's just it's epic. And I thank sunsetting for that, and I feel as though that's where it's probably the thing that pissed me off the most with Destiny is the sunsetting, reneging of it, and them not going forward with their.
They should have just pushed through the fucking slack and just turn and go, we got stuff coming, guys. We got stuff coming. This is what's going to happen.
Do they? I think that's why they did it, because they were fearful of of every game that's coming out in the next 10 years going to kill Destiny. They went and made the call. They said we're going to sunset weapons. Everyone outcried, right? But then they didn't have the content to support it.
Yeah.
So I feel as though the idea is there, and I think that they should still move forward with it. But they needed to have the content to support it. Like let's be honest, Beyond Light was beyond great. It wasn't, it wasn't actually. Yeah, it wasn't a fantastic drop for content. No. And Season of the Chosen has not been much different. Like the new season of Splice is no different. It's the content is dribbling to us. It's not. Boom. And that's why I see when I said before Forsaken's probably the best content they've dropped, is because it was a big content drop all at once. It was just like, here, have all of this shit to do.
Yeah.
And this is where we're at. And
so I take it you don't like the dribble fed content, or you hate it?
Nah.
But do you think
I like the Grandmaster idea of having a rotating Grandmaster with rotating weapons. Like I really like that content because it gives you something to grind towards.
I've heard you, I was actually on your stream earlier today, and you were saying that, one, you were worried about coming onto this podcast because you're not a lore person, but you also mentioned that, which is fine, don't worry about that, but you also said that you don't listen to the story, you just turn off all the story audio, and you just play the game because you're just like, I just don't give a shit, which is great because we've never experienced anyone like that before. Anytime someone talks to us, they're like, explain to us what the hell Lakshmi is doing right now, and we're like, oh my goodness, okay.
Yeah, people come in the chat all the time and they're like, oh, what about this? And I'm like, fuck, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Wow.
Bro, I'm just rating right now, man.
So
exactly.
Lion is asking what he thought about the Presage mission.
I actually look, to be honest, I actually really liked that content. I thought it was a great little thing that they included. Did I run it? No. I'm hopeless at that shit. Like I literally ran the Hawk Moon mission. What's the Hawk Moon mission called again? Harbinger. Yeah. Harbinger. I ran that like literally the last week of the season for the first time.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Like I raid, man. Like I literally that's
it. Yeah. Because they brought in the guy who worked on Resident Evil. So that type of mission, I think, is going to be what Witch Queen is going to be. That type of dark, dingy, all that sort of dodgy shit that's going on.
I think probably the most recent content that they brought out, which was for me a tease for the season and then it didn't, was the Prophecy Dungeon. The Prophecy Dungeon, the first time around, that was like, fuck, this is cool, man.
Yeah.
It was so different. And then we come to the new season, it was like, they added a fucking new planet that has snow everywhere and you can't see half the fucking time. Like it's
where's the intrigue gone? Hey, because we had that whole story with Aramis, and that was like what, 6 missions, and then she froze on the edge of a balcony and we haven't given a shit since.
Yeah, see, when did that happen?
That was literally the end of Beyond Light. Like,
that's it, fucking man. I know
that
what
was.
I don't even know what went on in Beyond Light. I don't even know what in Beyond Light.
I don't even have fucking stasis. But
like legit. I legit. Don't play the story very often. Eh? Like I do it every season. I get to the end of the season, and everyone rolls me for it. See, you got to do this shit before the season ends. Like
Shit.
I don't even think I didn't even do the Wrathborn hunts.
Oh no, I
Don't
didn't.
worry
They were
about it.
fucking
Like,
ass. They were
I
fucking. You
didn't- I
didn't miss
didn't-
fucking nothing.
You know, I as I said, I think I've got 2 Hawk Moons to my name, and I ran them both in the last week. I only literally just done the expunge missions just the other day, and the only reason I've done them is I wanted the weekly experience from the quests, the bounties, whatever you want to call them, challenges. So Lion helped me finish that out. And look, to be honest, I've run them, I've done them. I'm probably going to do them to get the chest that I need to get the last challenges done, and then I'll never do it again.
Wow.
So
like,
yeah,
go on. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go on.
so I was going to say, people are calling out to me in the chat, being like, "So, what do you want from the future? What do you want to see come in? Obviously, not story, but
Oh, look,
Yeah.
look. To be honest, that's just me. I just don't have the time for it.
Sure.
I'm not interested in it. I just want to help people get through raids, and you know, the story. Everyone's got their own thing that they enjoy. Like I said, Gyps likes to grind out bounties. You know, for me, I like helping people do raids and your story. And there's some people out there that love the lore and they love, you know, stories and all that sort of stuff. But for me, I want more content for everybody.
yeah,
That's probably the big thing. I want that. I want, and not for me personally, but for the game. I love Destiny, the game, and I've always loved playing it. And you know, I feel as though that right now it's just lacking. We need more raids. We need a raid. I think to be able to survive the current, you know, climate we're in with new games coming, like, you know, your Battlefield 6 coming, that's going to take some people. It's not going to kill Destiny. Destiny is very unique, but people are going to get bored with the game and they're going to find new games, and eventually something's going to kill it. I think we need a raid every 3 months, every 4 months.
Wow.
New raid, not a regurgitated raid, a brand new raid. You know, every big expansion, you know, and that's 3 raids a year.
yeah,
Which is, for me, that's not a lot.
okay,
And I think maybe some dungeons in between.
yeah,
Well, yeah, because I got all the time to run 3 raids a year and like all these dungeons.
yeah.
More PvP maps. I think
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd love to see them do a new PvP map every couple of months.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think
Every season needs to have new content.
sure.
Yeah. I think they should just put a sandbox in like on Halo. Put a sandbox in like Halo and get other people to turn around and design these maps. Give them a try. If they're good, they come in. Great. People have done the job for you, you know?
You know you're in a bad space when they're bringing back the old content,
Yeah,
you know, instead of making new. Like, when was the last time we had new content? Like Override. Ooh, it's just
is that even new
regurgitated.
though? Hey, it's just,
No.
it feels like a reskin of Menagerie, but very watered down
But
at the same
Vogue-
time.
VOG is back to the fact that the grass is greener on the other side. That you've had this outcry of we want VOG, and then they go, all right, no worries. Instead of giving us a new raid, they go, well, we'll just give you VOG, or we'll just revamp the fucking thing. It's the same thing. It's just you've got Overlord champions or barrier champions in there. Like, it's all regurgitated content. Like, I'm happy to have the distinguish the divide between D1 and D2. I don't want D1 stuff back in D2. I want D2 to be D2. And if you want to go and play D1, go and play D1. I don't think regurgitated content.
Everyone wants more, but not so much harder mechanics, right?
Yeah,
But see, this is where I'll say that I'm going to disagree and say that if they don't make harder mechanics, then I mean, your elitists or your people that like that content are not going to be happy either.
Yeah.
So you've kind of got to have a level playing field. And I feel, you know, doing a master VOG was great. They need to go back and then need to do a master or I don't think master's the answer. I really like the prestige versions of the raids more.
Yeah.
And the reason I like that was paid back to what you were saying before about the difference in the armor and things like that. And
yeah,
I guess for me, the rotating buffs as well was kind of cool. I thought, because every week you had to try and adjust, and I remember going through to try and get my sleeper catalyst, and we were like, yeah, fuck, I'm not running it this week, because it was dog shit rolls for weapons. Sorry.
Yeah, it'll be like pistol, grenade launcher, and sword.
Why
Yeah.
not?
I'm trying to kill the guy at the end with a bloody sword. You're like, well, I don't even think this is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not to that level, but then you've got something for everyone, right? You've got a normal version, you've got something for people to achieve. But the thing is right, is someone that will say something like that is also the person that wants the activity, they want the gear from the hard one, but they don't want to do the hard activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where the game is at the moment. Is I think Bungie's trying to make a game that's for everybody, where realistically, like trials, they're not going to get rid of trials, right?
No, never.
But
never again.
Do you guys play PvP?
Sort of. We were doing trials for a good while there, but we hit the same thing. We just got hammered a lot of the time. We weren't getting anything out of it.
Yeah. So the way to fix that, and this is where I say is something for everybody, is you make trials, you make base weapons, but then you make an elite platform or an elite version of it, or a pinnacle version of trials where the elitist and the sweats can go and they can earn adept versions. But guess what? Everyone's going to want the fucking adept version. Yeah. And then this lies the problem, is because everyone wants everything, but they don't want to get good.
Yeah.
To get there.
And that's why the cash is getting off, isn't it? Well, if you want this, you pay me money and I'll go and get it. And then that's why you got the ghost lobbies and all that sort of shit coming into play, Or
at least if you did it, maybe make it so maybe if you do a flawless run at the top tier trials, you get a guaranteed drop of a adept weapon, right? So you get a guaranteed messenger adept, right? In the normal pool, if you go flawless in the normal pool, you've got a 5% chance of getting an adept version or whatever. So there's a bit of RNG that way. Then the plebs of the world can still have a crack at it and have an opportunity to sort of play and compete and make it ranked, or bring something into to make PvP for everybody a little bit more. I mean, I don't know all the answers, but I know there's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
We can all see what's wrong with it, and just it's the fact that it just hasn't been touched in so long, like 600 plus days since a new Crucible map is a meme that is currently happening. It's like, where is the love? We understand that you keep saying that we're working on revamping Crucible, but can we see it? Like, come on.
Nope.
Why can't we see this?
That's back into the question. Yeah, it's more content for everybody, more things that kind of keep the day to day. Like, I'd probably grind other things other than raids, and I'd probably enjoy it more if there was something that I enjoyed. Like, I played a fair bit of Menagerie when it first came out, got bored with it after a while, but I liked the rotating idea of it. It was different every week. And I guess Battlegrounds is the same, and so is Overdrive. Which was called Override.
Yeah.
It's how much I play it. I keep forgetting the names. And for the same thing, Gambit. Like the fucking, like, it was fun when it came out. Then it was kind of cool. They had it rotating. It was sort of different every week. And then once again, it's been left to its own demise.
Yeah.
We got all the cool weapons. You had to run what was the thing we had to run to get the different roles of weapons and whatever.
For this season?
No. Where you got the bloody Dire Promise and stuff from.
Reckoning.
Yeah. So you had Reckoning, you got the armor, you got the, it was different though. It was different.
That was a crazy game design aspect though with that bridge, because we got too powerful, so they just decided to knock us off a bridge to kill us.
Yeah.
Like it was such a weird place.
So what do you think about larger raids then? Because they had that issue where you could get in a 24 man, 12 man, however. Do you think do you think they should do something like that?
Yes, but not in the current landscape we're in.
You have to get obviously a bigger raid.
Bigger raids, more. It was just honestly, they were harder to do than a 6-man because it was just a clusterfuck. It was just fucking people just got on the road. And they were fun. Yeah. It was cool to do for something different. Yeah, and people had fun with it. But I feel it's a really cool. I think it's something they could really do. And I think that's something that definitely they could probably do. And they could probably do something similar to the PvP and even strikes and stuff, and have a bit more, I guess, like Gambit was their first sort of taste of trying to evolve PvP and PvE together. I would even be, against having a sort of a raid where you worked against another clan, and the other clan was going to say, like, it's just something different, something out of the ordinary.
It would be good to have like console against console, or like obviously not PC because they just fucking wreck you, but like Xbox against Stadia. So the 5 people who play on Stadia just has to, like attack like the millions of people play on Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we got an interesting question from Cold Goblin in the chat. He says, one last real question for supporting the stream. Do you see Destiny having a long-term future 10 plus years from now?
I think the game could 100%. I think the game, but whether or not the Bungie sees it that way or not, like I think the game's been around long enough now that the core base of players definitely want to play the game. And I think that the answer to that question is going to really come down to the factors as to do they want it to?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if they don't release the content, then no, it won't. In the current landscape we sit in, and in the way that we're getting our content, then no, it won't. But if they take on board what everyone says and they kind of try and come out with a somewhat of a wishy-washy idea of what the people want, which let's be honest, everyone wants something different. And they can sort of find something that's a bit of a balance between everything. At the end of the day, I think people just want something fresh.
Yeah.
We didn't get Destiny 3, which, whether that was a good or bad thing, I don't know. I don't think they wanted people to have to grind again. Personally, I wouldn't have been mad at the Destiny 3. I don't think. But they didn't want to do it, which I guess is fair. It's a completely new development of a whole new game. And we've seen how good they are at developing content. So
yeah,
they need like a cataclysm, and yes, Lightfall. Now, when Lightfall comes, bang, blow the tower up. Yes, you don't have to grind all your power again and just put a little power cap on, but you just bang. You are no longer on Earth. You are no longer the tower. You are just
reset,
out.
Full reset. Okay, we're running kind of close to time, so let's quickly run through the Discord questions that we got today because some of them were really funny. Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
sweet.
the chat's
All right.
falling out here real quick. Silence.
Do you know the difference between jelly and jam? Here's the first one.
Fuck off.
I
Next
wonder who
question.
asked that. Silent quickly asked, I stopped playing at the start of D2, but when I left, I swear they had a 10-year plan laid out. Is that still a thing? No. That 10-year plan was tied to their partnership with Activision, and that has since separated. So that's kind of why we get the drip-fed content now, is they don't have that big influx of money from Activision anymore. All right. Discord questions, please.
What made Destiny the game for you, and why are Sherpa runs important?
Well, I played Call of Duty. I was sick of that game, then the way that they were moving. And actually, one of my old staff members, when she wasn't my staff member, suggested it to me, and I hated it for it because I really hated Destiny for the first probably week. And then I just got addicted to it. And then I guess back, and we answered the question earlier, for Sherpering for me was because I was just like the people that were struggling to find raid teams and didn't have the friends to support it. So I decided to make my own team and help people to sort of make their own teams and find their own way like I have. So that's really where I wanted to be and why I do what I do.
Yeah. Great.
This is off Devour Matter. He has a anime name that I can never pronounce. The hardest raid Sherpa or Guardian that has pushed you to your limits and made him ask why the fuck does he do this? Please say Lion.
I've had a few.
Lion.
No. I've had a few. I look, I'm not going to name names because I don't want to put people in their position. But as I said before, I've had some. I think in my whole, since I started taking it seriously and Sherping people, I think I've really probably had 2 people. One person I just kicked because he was just did not want to listen. He was arrogant and he was just an asshole. So I was just like, you know what, mate, you go and just fucking find someone else.
Yeah.
And then, but I've had people that. More so, we end up finding the humorous side of it at the end of the day. Like I had a guy who literally, look, if you've ever watched me do Garden, the troll through the portal, mate, like fuck, mate, that was my satisfaction, mate. Like, that was enough for me. Literally, portal. I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. And there's one that I shared and I clipped it because it was such a good one. And the guy, he deserved it. It was a hard raid, and you hear Gypsy. Gypsy doesn't really say much, but she says. He deserves it. And she says that in the actual video, and we put it through, and he's good value. Yeah. I'm talking for anyone that's in the chat that's seen it. We're talking about the face raid. His name's Face, it was just humorous at the end of the day, and it was tough. But I get them all the time. I go into the raid expecting it to be hard, because if I didn't, then I would always feel, like mate, I never give up. I mean, I'll literally not go to bed to get someone there regularly. I don't care.
Fair enough. This is our first Herb. So, where is it? What's your best advice for an aspiring Sherpa? Also, have you ever been overwhelmed by Sherpa? Oh, you just asked that. But what's the best advice for aspiring Sherpas?
I guess probably ask yourself why you're doing it. Is probably the big thing. Is why are you actually wanting to do it? Because the concept in people's mind, and I've watched people Sherpa people before, and I've watched other creators do it, and it's not easy. And people, I think they get the idea that they want to do it because they see other people doing it, but they're doing it for the wrong reason. Do it for the right reason, and that's to help people. And you'll have the best time ever, and teach them the right way the first time, and then you won't have to. You won't have to worry about it, and it'll pay you dividends, because then they'll be able to then help you in the long term. So
that's awesome. Good answer, man. Good. Nice. Curly's asking, why does he fall asleep so much?
Who asked that?
Curly. We got a guy, and he's in a raid, and then he just doesn't move, and then he's falling asleep, and he does it like a good 5 or 6 times out of 10. And you just hear him snoring in the background, so we have to kick him and get another person.
Really?
Yeah. We've been at Oracle.
It's happened to me
calls.
twice. Someone's fallen asleep at my party twice.
Oh, we've been at he'll be one calling out oracles for Aethon, and then you see. It's like, oh.
Yeah. So Lion. So what's your clan name?
The Seek fan.
Big fan.
Okay, because Lion's asking, is he a registered Vex offender?
Oh yeah. That's
I don't like
that was
Lion.
That was a clan name we've seen. I think can't remember where that came from actually, but yeah, registered Vex offender. It's good play on words. Yeah.
I don't know how Lion even come into our chat, but he's just come in like a fucking whirlwind, and he's like just throwing shit around. He's actually a pretty fucking good guy.
Yeah.
He's there's only one line. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, man, he is. He came in maybe a month ago, and he just it was like I said, it was like a whirlwind. And then like 2 weeks ago, just before we reached out to you, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna raid with my mate Seeker," and I went, "Hang on, what? Come back here and tell me all about this."
Yeah. Fuck.
Well, Lion we took Lion through for his first time, so way back when, and now he's pretty pretty well raised, nearly on the. Oh, I don't know whether he raised daily, but he's definitely got a fair few clears now. So and that's the cool part about why back in line with the story is that's the cool part for me. I was like, the people that have now hit their 200, 300 clears. And I was their very, very first.
Wow.
Go back to school and
you took his raid cherry.
Yeah, that's it.
Split him.
All them cherries.
Split him. Oh.
What's your best time in D2 being a Sherpa? What's your best time? What's the time that just stands out the most, that you just got this one Sherpa that is gold in your mind?
Look, there's so many memories, really. I guess for me is probably the one that sticks with me the most is and just because it was the pinnacle of why I do what I do is and look, I'm friends with a few of them, but Dunks and the boys from Astral, I can't remember the full clan name, but I pretty well run. I think 5 out of 6 of their main clan through Garden, and then they finally got their first clear as a clan, and put up a post and stuff, and it was just nice to see. Like it was that I was able to help them, and then they achieved what they needed to achieve, and that was now they raid. Well, I think some of them have stopped playing because of obviously content related problems, but they were raiding fairly well on the daily, and fairly good raiders. Like it was just really cool that I could help them to achieve that, and I guess ignite that passion within them to raid. All right,
I'm trying to run through as much as possible, but if you wasn't playing Destiny, I'm looking for more questions. If you wasn't playing Destiny, what game would you be playing?
Right now, probably Warzone.
All right,
and ask me why, because it's frustrating as fuck.
Jared Brown's calling me out in the chat, asking me if I've told you about the fact that I played Among Us with you when Destiny went down like a week ago. I didn't
Yeah.
even know if you realized that that was actually us, but I saw
Yeah,
you.
yeah, no, no.
Yeah,
I knew it was you.
and we were trying to like get into. We were going fucking crazy with that because we were like making all these jokes at you and everything, trying to get joking with you, but you're obviously in a different chat. And oh man, there was so many times I'm the one that hit the emergency button and called out
Yeah.
Seiko, and he was then eventually the actual fucking imposter. And I'm like, I said this happened. Listen, but yeah, no, it's been,
It was
So
good, mate.
his future wife has just turned around and come into the chat, and he goes, after the conversation between you two, he literally came into the bed fangirling.
it was such a great moment. It
And
was
see,
so
I find that weird. And I guess,
Is it because I'm thinking of you in bed?
yeah, maybe. I just find that weird that, man, literally, I'm just a dude that helps people with rage, man, at the end of the day, just like everyone else. Like I appreciate it. It's cool. But at the end of the day, like, you know, and that's, mate, I'll raid with anyone. I'll talk to anyone. You know, I'm a pretty down to earth, pretty like kind of dude. So yeah, don't be afraid. Like if you're out there and you want to come play with me, if you feel like you can put up with me, then reach out.
Awesome.
I'll try and
What do you
organize a
reckon?
raid.
This is off. The last one is off Little Tommy Tucker. He's a guy that we've met. He's just joined our Discord, and he's a real good fan of the podcast. What do you reckon of the next subtype? Do you think it's going to be this fucking corruption shit?
Poison or whatever.
Yeah.
I hope so. I think we definitely need something like that, but I don't think that's the end and be all answer to our saving grace. I actually wouldn't mind seeing another character.
Well, that's why I
Right.
think.
Okay.
That's why with obviously the Fallen coming in now, I would like to be able to have the option of playing a Fallen as a splicer subclass
Yeah,
and have something like that. That'd be fucking cool.
like we've had Hunter, Warlock, and Titan for how long have we had that for?
Yeah.
Bring out like something, even a mech. Bring out a mech, like a robot. You know, bring something different.
Mate, you're not allowed to talk about mechs or Anthem in front of Agnikai because before he started this podcast, he was actually an Anthem
I did
podcast.
an
So
Anthem podcast for like 3 episodes, and like I was like, "This is it. This is gonna be my destiny, right?" And then obviously Anthem,
Never played it. Never played it. People
Oh,
say it was
dude.
good, but there's lacking content.
It wasn't. It was very mediocre. But
Oh,
I was
really?
I was all in, and it bit me in the butt. And so now I've come back to Destiny, obviously, and I stream that and I do
Yeah.
this, and yeah.
well, thank you. Well, like at the bottom of our hearts, thank you for coming on. You didn't have to, and just to come on and just be like humble and giving us your time is fantastic, and we just appreciate everything.
I did message Enikai before and tell him, it's fucking Origin night, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
I don't think you actually
It's game
realised
3
that
of
I had to
Origin.
give up watching New South Wales, and I don't know the score. I was going to kind of try and see me watch it on the screen next to me here, but I didn't. And New South Wales. I'm from New Zealand, so it's not as meaningful to me as what it is for an Australian, but it's like religion, Origin, and you went and put a podcast on during Origin, so
Yeah.
mate.
I didn't realize it was me that organized the dates, and I didn't realize the dates at the time. But at the same time, you fucking whopped us last time to like 50-6. So
Yeah.
I don't really know if there even is a point of game 3. Do they just blow the whistle and go home?
I don't know the score. Does anyone in the chat know the score?
Does anyone know?
New South Wales.
Look, I've got 6-2 on you so far, but that's 32 minutes ago, so I don't know.
Oh,
No, it's got to be more than that. Shit,
Yeah.
that's not a bad. That's not bad then.
6-8 Queensland halftime. That's what it's saying. Yeah, at the moment.
Shit,
my God, they took New South Wales didn't show up. They just put in the reserves.
yeah, maybe.
Anyway, but
I'm Wales. I'm Welsh, mate. I only play Union. I can't stand fucking league.
I
Kills me.
played both, mate. I'm from New Zealand, so rugby's religion in New Zealand.
Oh, without a doubt. When Wales plays New Zealand, we're always like, yes, we're gonna beat them, and then we never beat them for about 50 years. I think 1970. I think is the last time we even fucking beat you guys, or even come close.
I had a couple of good runs not long ago. Not few, probably about 8 years ago.
Yeah, not a fucking chance, man. Fucking New
All
Zealand's a
Blacks.
fucking.
As I said, it's religion. It is religion. It's like, I guess when you say like soccer or football over in Europe is like religion, it's rugby's religion in New Zealand, where probably AFL's religion in Australia, like in certain aspects
In
of it.
Melbourne.
Yeah, or a bit like it's it's far bigger watched game than what rugby league or union is in
Sure,
Australia.
for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Like you walk down the street in Wales and you'll be at a rugby club. And that's your life. You're in a rugby club. So that's your whole thing. You'll go there for food. You go there for, like, if it's a party, that'll be where you are. You go there to watch the boys play. You go there to drink beers. So it is ingrained in you, you know?
Yeah.
Well, this has been the Rugby Union podcast. Thank you for listening, guys.
I don't know how we got into rugby union, but hey. But like I said again, thank you for coming on. It's
good.
Fantastic. And look, we'd love for you to be able to give you another offer, and you can come on, obviously not Origin, and we can just discuss law. Just all law. That's all we discuss is law.
Oh yes, mate. Mate,
Yeah.
definitely.
One more time,
Don't
give us a
excite
plug.
me.
Give us all your details once more, so before we send it out.
Jump Facebook if you want to catch a stream. So just iiSeeked on Facebook or fb.gg/iiSeeked. Twitter's ii_seeker. You can pretty much get it if you ever get and jump in the stream. My link tree's in there as well, so you can find everything from there. So, but pretty much that's where you'll find me most days, hanging out. Probably about too many hours per day.
You got a Facebook page as well, haven't you? So you got Facebook. Are you on Insta?
I got Insta. Yeah, I got Insta. I got TikTok. Not that I use TikTok that much, but the management team said it'd be a good idea.
All right. Oh, so you got a management team as well. Holy shit.
Yeah. So click management look after Twitch partners or Twitch people as well. But they're the ASP for Australia and New Zealand for Facebook. So they all the Facebook partners except for Nat Chats and Evori are signed directly through them.
Shit.
Yeah.
And there's us just making shit up as we go along.
We just turned the stream on. I don't know half this shit. But anyway.
All right.
Nothing changes, mate. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same thing. You still turn up, do the same thing. It's realistically, I just get shit before everyone else, and I have a bit more support.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. Nah, man, that's amazing. Great, absolutely fantastic.
Awesome show. All right. I'm going to send us out.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. There's so much love for you in the chat right now. You did amazing. Thank you, everyone, for watching and coming out and supporting us from Seek's side of the community. You're all fantastic. And hopefully we'll see you in the future. Peace out, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.